Hey everyone, this one's another video on the boat trailer. We did finish filming it probably about a week ago and haven't got around to putting it out yet. So it's a really long video. It's like 40 minutes long without the intro, but I didn't want to break it down into two pieces, so we just made the longer video. And it goes all the way through to when we take it to the galvanizers. And I haven't bothered putting an ending on this video, so when it stops playing, you'll know it's finished. Enjoy. Okay, it's now the next morning, Monday morning. Hope to have it going to the galvanizers, but obviously that's not going to happen today. Same old story, didn't get as much as what I wanted to get done over the weekend. I put these plates on. Finished that last night, so decided to get an early start this morning. In fact, it is what is it, 5 to 6 in the morning, and I'm about to wake up the neighbours. Try and get a couple of hours in before work starts. So next thing I didn't think of is I've got to put weld some hooks on there so we can use it to tie the boat down to the trailer. That's the next job, and then and I'm going to drill some holes in the bottom of these just so they can drain. I'm not looking forward to that one now that it's like 10 mil thick, but anyway, we'll get that done. Alright, drilled the holes in each of these beams, so we've gone 9.5 mil, which, you know, when it's galvanized that'll close up a little bit, so but it'll still leave a decent sized hole to drain, and I don't really want to go bigger than that. It's like 25% of the, you know, the width of the bar. And put these welded this hook on. That's just a bit of 12 mil round bar, which I've done in the bender. So do one of those on the other side. So that's the bottom finished now. Just put the other hook on the other side there. Just run round with a little sander and tidied up any weld splatter. All done. And what else have I done? Oh, these wiring path holes, they were a bit sharp, so just dressed those with a file, and yeah, she's all done. On the bottom I can't see anything that I've missed, but there probably is. So I'm going to flip it upside down. I'm going to cut off those support bars because they're giving me the shits. Next job. I've changed my mind yet again. Just in the process of turning this thing over, and I thought, look, it's crazy why it's on that angle not to do those welds on the sides. So I'm going to do that on both sides, and then there shouldn't be any need to flip the trailer again. So we'll get that done now. Done. Fully welded in. Happy with the welds. All pretty relatively consistent, so okay, so just gone 8 o'clock, and I know that because my phone started ringing halfway through a weld. Everybody's about to come to work, so I better have a rest for a while and go and do something at work, and then I'll steal an hour a bit later. This is a milestone moment. I've just, I need to get it outside so I can do some servicing. So I've just quickly slid the suspension under it and bolt straight on. Perfect. Probably start. Good old compressor. So I'm going to change that and it just sits on some angle that it bolts onto, so I'm going to change that around and change the leaf spring setup and the wheels. But for now, it's actually going to move for the first time on wheels. So good moment. All right, it's 2 days later now, Wednesday. Hoping to get the trailer to the galvanizers on Monday, but obviously that hasn't happened. I did do some work on it yesterday, and basically we're just on the real finishing touches of this frame now. So yesterday I did these, some corner bracing, inside and out, so just tacked on obviously. Same thing on the other side. Rear roller brackets, made that up. That was actually a pain in the ass to try and get it right. And this morning I'm just going to put some quad roller brackets on there, and then I'll tack all that into place, and then we're just going to tip the trailer from side to side and start welding all these final bits in, and then the frame is finished. Okay, just with these brackets, I noticed on the old ones that there's a little bit of plate welded underneath. Can't really see through all the rust and shit, but so I'm going to replicate that. So I've just cut that out now, and I'll weld that in. Beauty of nice clean metal on the trailer, you can use it as a welding bench. No shortage of heat in those ones. That'll actually should strengthen it up quite a bit too. Just welded it in there, and also got a weld in the middle there. So mount those on and weld them up, but they're the first rollers that the boat hits. So yeah, having that extra strength would be quite good really. All right, excuse flashing LEDs again. So these ones are on there. They're in there, although I've welded and it might still be hot there, but there is a slight gap above it where these two join, so I might put another one in there just to seal it. I'm about to do these ones, and what I've done is put the table underneath. I just find it easier if I can lean on something when I'm welding. If you're not comfortable, always end up getting a terrible weld. So tops of that, top on the other side. Maybe I'll just seal those up, and then that should be it for the top. Maybe just put a weld on the top of those there somewhere. Then I'm going to have to turn it upside down to weld the other side of those, because I want to do everything in downhand welds. And also that beam there, I've decided I'm going to drill a hole right in the bottom of that, just in case it does get in the water. I mean, if it does, we're pretty deep, but anyway, just so it can drain. Okay, so we'll do that. Right, excuse the buzzing from our hoist. I think I'll just turn that off. So these corner plates here are welded in top and bottom. This is the bottom at the moment, and they're going to be like really, really strong, which is good. And it needs to be, because that's basically connecting the rear and the front of the trailer together. So they've got to be bulletproof, and that's why I put them on the inside as well. And I've just drilled one more hole there, which is a 9.5mm hole, just as a drain hole. We've still, of course, got to go through and drill holes like there and corresponding on the other side for galvanizing holes, because anywhere there's a stop, there needs to be a hole to relieve the galvanizing, or otherwise it'll actually explode, believe it or not. So that's another job we've got to do, is go through and put all those holes in, and got to make sure we don't miss them because they charge you a fortune to do it if you do. Right, flip it on its side and just these last few welds really. All right, just turn it up the other way to weld in the other side, and just had a very scary experience through a moment of inattention, and I dropped this thing off the hoist. So it fell down from a position like this, and lucky there's nobody there because these things do go down hard. And to the point where it started digging holes in the floor. So it did go down hard. I thought, oh no, I've bent it. Run round, measured it all. It hasn't damaged it at all. So good strength test. But silly me, I only had one hoist arm out. I should have had that one out as well. So if it does go, it's got nowhere to go. So I've had a serious workshop accident before and smashed up my hand and lost a finger. Again, through a moment of inattention, so it just shows you how careful you really have to be all the time, because that could have been ugly. All right, last weld. You see, I don't know if you see the smoke coming out of there. There's obviously some heat in it, because the weld is down here. Final coupling weld. Hopefully the final weld on the trailer, on the frame anyway. I think I've got them all. Just double check. Top ones. Yeah, looking pretty good. Okay, so time to flip it back. That's right side without dropping it. And I put tape everywhere to make sure I didn't miss any. Hopefully I haven't, I'll be devastated if I have. We'll put it the right way up, and we've got to drill some holes, galvanizing holes and wire path holes, and then this frame is done. All right, frame is completely finished. The only thing I have to do is drill a hole for the safety chain. I have to wait till I get a safety chain before I can do that. Drilled the galvanizing holes, drilled the holes for the wiring path, probably a bit hard to see in this light. They're quite big, so wires are going to come out of here along. I drilled a 6mm hole for a saddle clip, or P-clip actually, to hold the wiring, just so it keeps it relatively flat to here so it's not poking out, and then it'll go into here. And we'll show you on this side, and it will travel along, come out of here. So I've drilled quite a big hole, like way bigger than what the wiring is, and I must file it actually. And the reason being is just so it's easy to feed. And done the same on the other side, and everything is fully welded, all galvanizing holes, all 6mm holes. So she's done. Next job is probably start to build the suspension. I think will be the next thing. So hopefully I can do that in the morning. Okay, start of another day. Now that the trailer is, or the frame is pretty much finished, my next job is to tackle the suspension. Now, what happened is when I first rebuilt this trailer, or just did a quick rebuild, I wanted to put a single leaf spring on there, just for rust issues, and as you can see it just rusted anyway. The problem with that is it's really long, the spring, and it's ended up being longer than what the guard is, which means normally you would just have the piece of angle coming straight out here, but because of the length of it, I had to sort of build it out from the frame and down, and it's just been a pain. So I've bought some new springs which are significantly shorter. So what will happen is, and it's probably a bit hard to explain, but because it's a shorter spring, these supports here will be able to run straight out from underneath. You'll see as I do it, so it's going to be a lot better. Hopefully it should only take an hour or two, but we'll see how we go. I'm just going to pinch a bit of time from work this morning. Alright, hopefully this sun is alright behind us. Just getting this ready. This is going to be a bracket that the leaf spring bolts to. So what we're going to do, excuse the radio in the background, we're cleaning cars. We've put I've marked the centre line. I've also marked which is bottom and which is side, because you can easily get it wrong. This is our new set, the 1500 kilo setup, much shorter springs. So I'm just going to put those on there, and this has to be at absolute centre, and on the other side there's that thing there, and that actually goes into the axle, so it's got to be smack on. So I'm going to, without dropping it on the floor, I'm just going to line that up all now, and then I can put my brackets in place to be welded on. So I've marked a centre line through there, and I'll just put a straight edge or a square down there. It's a bit hard to see with the light, basically, which will come up at the right place, so we know that's in the right area. So what I probably should have done is actually attach some brackets to it first, so I'll do that now. I've just moved it in from the doorway because the sun was playing tricks on us, but anyway, so got that lined up there with there, and this table's, you know, nice and flat, so we know that's good. Put our front bracket, made sure that's obviously that round bit's always at the front, so that's good. Squared it up, and this cradle at the back, I've put that in sort of 25mm out around that. Whenever this spring compresses, that will always go that way. This has obviously got no load on it at all, so it can't go that way, so that we're safe there. So that's it really. I'm just going to tack it into place, take the spring off, fully weld it, and put the guard supports on, and we're pretty much done. So we've got those tacked in now. Next thing we've got to think about is the guard support, where we're going to put those in and make sure I put them out the right way. This bench, I've never probably talked about it. Years ago it was a motorcycle table, so I cut it up and turned it into this because these are what we learned to weld on when I was getting certified at Tech. So I put a plate on the top and also welded an earth to it. So as long as that's earthed, you can just put anything on the top and weld it without having to clamp to the thing that you're welding to. Just a side thing. So what I need to do now, this is where obviously the guard bolted front and rear, so we know the distance from the inside to the inside is the distance I want. Focus. So I'm going to measure that, halve that, and then measure that out from the centre line on the thing that we're making at the moment to make sure that we put the guard supports in the right place. Okay, here's our part. I've just put the guard supports on. Now, as you can tell, it is a hell of a lot more simple than that one below it. And that's all it needs to be. If I'm recording in the right place. Nice and easy. Okay, so I'm just going to disassemble this thing. Hopefully it all doesn't come crashing down. It shouldn't do. Take the old leaf spring and everything off, and then I'll put the new one in and we'll have a look at the difference. This will better explain how simple the new one is compared to the old one. That should be nice and strong.
helicopter coming over. I don't think there's any doubt about the penetration of those welds, so we'll throw it on and see how it looks. So here's the old side, and the new side is a hell lot simpler. Just that. The guard supports, hopefully the guard fits. I'll throw it on in a sec. Multi-leaf, single. Not sure what the load rating is, I've just jumped on it, it didn't really move. And I'm not exactly light. Okay, I'll put the guard on it. Okay, guard fits in pretty sweet. Got it roughly where it's going to go. Obviously it's not straight yet, but a lot more clearance than what we used to have. And we do drag it through some pretty deep sand, so that'll be quite good. I'm happy with that. Alright, better go back to work and do all the things that are banking up on me.
Alright, it's actually 4 days later now. Been away for the weekend, so nothing's happened for a while, but back on the trailer today. So what I've done is I've made the other suspension bracket. Didn't bother filming it, just because it's just a replay of the other one really. So next job is these really sharp corners here, which will do a good job of cutting your leg open. Just run some 45s on that, so I'm going to go and trim all those off. Then I'm going to drill some holes and fit these guards, and then I'm just going to fit these existing rollers back on here, and then we'll start building the back ones. So we've got the guards now bolted on in position, and I've just temporarily fitted these rollers because I'm going to put the boat on the trailer, and I'm going to replace these ones. They sort of look okay, but they are rusting from the inside out, and they are the old ones, which tend to always give problems. So I'm just going to rebuild it. These things are really simple, but yet they charge like a unit like that's $400 and something. So we're just going to build another one now. So we're going to start with a piece of 40 by 3 square bar, which is 600 long. Then you weld some bolts into the end of it, which are M24 by 50s. Yeah, I'll show you on the way through, but they're really simple. I don't know why they're so expensive. They cost like $140 to make one, including galvanizing. Okay, so just cut out the first piece, and what we've got to do is drill a hole in it. Now the hole's not in the middle, it's further forward, and the reason for that is so the weight will make the back of the arm drop down so the boat can hit the rollers. And you also notice the hole is towards the bottom, so got to be careful of that. I've just marked in there the centre of it. And I assume so it's got more swing in its bracket, so we'll, yeah. Holes all drilled. Like I say, these things are really easy. Bolt like that, straight in the end. The M24 fits inside. Then what we'll do is we'll put it in the vise and just crush the top down to meet the top of the nut. Weld around it, make it nice and strong. Both ends, a couple of galvanizing holes, and that's it. That piece is finished. Nice and simple. Finished piece. I opted to fill it right up full of weld. I haven't bothered smoothing it off too much because there'll be an arm sort of up that goes along that way. Again, really simple. Welded on both ends. Galvanizing holes. Done. Next job is the roller arm, I suppose you call it, that holds the rollers, which has got hole drilled in the end for the split pin, washer, stop the roller from going back, piece of bar there with a 24mm hole in it, which I've done. Yeah,
So I'm not going to copy that distance from there to there, because I don't know if my rollers might be different width. So I'll put a split pin in there, just a shitty one for now. I've got some really good ones which I'll use later. Then washer, roller, and then I can set where that thing needs to be welded on here. Hopefully you can see that alright. So the front's in there with the split pin. It's got this washer on the back. Now I want to give it some movement, but not too much, because I don't want it wobbling all over the place, you know, and then it comes off like we've had problems with before. So I'm only going to give it a few mil, and that's about it. Okay, we are the next morning, and yeah, I had a screw up last night. I finished that arm there, which is great. It all, you know, came out all right, but I put the end of it, you can see there, on the wrong side, which means that the longer part of the arm is facing that way when it should be facing down that way. Not a complete disaster because I can use it on the other side, but it just, yeah, pissed me off last night. Kept getting interrupted every 5 minutes and lost my concentration. So I really do need to get this thing sort of buttoned up today if I can. It's now the 29th of November, and we're running out of time to get it to the galvanizers. So I've come in super early in the morning, and we're about to make some noise. Always remember when you're building something, tack it all first, then line it up and see if you've got it in the right place. Don't do what I did last night and weld it all and then find out that you've got it backwards. Joys of doing things at the wrong end of the day. So that one's all tacked up, looks good, does what it's supposed to do, falls to the inside there. Quickly try some rollers on it and I'll weld it up. I want to state on camera, or from behind the camera because my cameraman's at school, that when I said these are a piece of cake, they're very easy and I can't understand why they cost so much, I was very wrong. They're a pain in the ass. But anyway, managed to get them done. I've just put split pins and everything in them temporarily because I want to put the boat on the trailer. So I've put the coupling back on, very messy work area. And the only other thing I need to do is I'm just going to put the winch post on, and then I'll pull it outside and wheel it under the boat. Well, it almost looks like a boat trailer. I'm going to retain that winch post, there's no reason for us to change it. It does have a new winch on it. Basically, with the exception of the light poles, which I'm going to refit because I haven't got time to build new ones. Oh, and there was a roller there that the boat got hung up on all the time, which I deleted. But apart from that, that's basically what it was. I've got to put rollers there and there just because the boat may hit that. Yeah, I'm going to put a split pin in that roller there, and then I'm going to wheel it under the boat. This is a real milestone moment after all those hours. This thing just fits like a glove. It's absolutely perfect. Had to swap the rollers around because I had them around the wrong way, but doesn't matter. Guard clearance, smack on. And this thing that's winding it off a set of tyres, and it went on exactly straight. Really happy. I know my spare wheel bracket, excuse fingers in the way, will go right there and should fit perfectly. So it probably doesn't need front rollers, but I'm gonna probably put them on anyway. But I'm gonna do that and then I'm gonna tow it. See what it goes like, and I'm picking it's gonna be mint. Awesome. All right. Got the boat in the shed now. I've just been out in the traffic trying to find a set of rollers and I couldn't find anything that I liked. I mean rollers for the front beam. And I was coming back thinking, what am I going to do? And I remembered I had some round bar, 25mm round bar. So I went to the steel shop. I got some 30mm square and this fits right inside. So I'm going to make like an axle of that, drill it off center so it drops, and I found, just wait there, I found this in the steel box, obviously something I've tried before, so that can go on there, and I reckon that might work, so I'll give it a whirl and see how we go. This this actually might work. So you've got your sitting down to one side, ample movement. Does have a bit of backwards and forwards, which is a pain, but I don't think that really matters. So it's all done. Galvanizing holes, got your washer there, just put the wheels on the outside, that's plenty of space.
Why don't you just put little spaces in between them?
Well, you could do. You actually could do that. You could put a bit of round bar in there, bit of pipe.
Would you ever?
No, I'm just going to leave it. I don't think it hurts to have that sort of movement. So I'll just wait for it to cool down because it's still very hot. Otherwise I'll melt the wheels I'm going to put on it. And I'll see if I can find a bracket. I'm pretty sure I got a bracket for it. Okay, I've just finished this this roller and I'm really pleased with it. It was really challenging. If you come down underneath, so that's your finished product there. Not sure where I got to, I think I showed you most of it. But if you come around this side, I'll swap places with you. The problem I had is I had to space it out off this bar. I had to weld that spacer, and the reason was if it was back further, the inside wheel came down on this bar here and it wouldn't spin. But this way it's far enough away from this rail that it'll droop down when it needs to, when the boat's off it. And when as soon as the boat hits it, it's clear and it can spin. So that was a bit of a brain teaser. And then I had to try and get some U-bolts that were long enough to go past all of this. So we've finally just put it on now, and I'm really happy with it. It's really cool. So I'm going to make the other one, which I've this morning I got up early just because I wanted to get ahead. I made this part of it, which is a time-consuming one, and I had to go and get one of these because I didn't have one of those. So I'm just going to finish off the rest of it now, make the brackets that go on the end of the U-bolts. And once I put that together, the trailer's 100% finished. I'll tow it, then I'll strip it down, I'll take it to the galvanizers hopefully this afternoon. Fabrication is 100% done. Front roller on there. Another one on there. I could just zoom really, couldn't I? That would be easier. Rigged up some temporary lights and I'm going to hook it up, take it around the block. Let's see how it goes. Just got back from towing it. It tows really well. Had a little rattle where I didn't have one of the front rollers up far enough, but apart from that it's mint. Heaps of rollers now. I've sort of done what I wanted them to, those front ones, and we just took it back off the trailer now, and we had to be careful because we just pulled it off when it was still attached to the car, undid the ropes, and it just wanted to slide straight off. So it's going to be really easy to launch and retrieve now. So super happy. Time to strip this puppy down. All right, early Friday morning. About a week and a half later than what we expected, but anyway. It's all stripped down again. Ready to go somehow into that trailer. And it's a hell of a lot longer, so we'll figure that out. Axle off. You can sort of see where the time goes and all the stuff you've got to fabricate. All of this, you know, does take a while to get it right. So, yeah. All right, we'll take it to the galvanizers, and I suppose the next video will be when we get it back, putting it back together. All right, one more thing I just thought we'd try and record how we're going to get this thing into the trailer, so we'll give it a go now. Now we've got a cameraman. Not quite sure how it's going to work. I think we might have to speed that bit up in the video. Alright, so we've got it down to the level we need it to. The problem is these hoist arms here are going to hit the trailer. It should be okay there, hopefully, we'll see. So what we're going to have to do, I think we're going to have to lift the jack in to the trailer and jack that up so we can get those hoist arms out, and then we'll lower this down. Yeah, I think that'll be the go. Alright, we'll come back in a sec. Okay. Alright, just jack it up off these hoist arms. Get rid of those. This one over here. We'll come around the front. We'll gently see if we can lower it down onto the. Come around the front, mate. It'll come down a little bit uneven. Probably the jockey wheel. Put the jack down real slow. Problem is at the other end you've got to be able to get a forklift underneath it. Back here. Not sure how they're going to get a forklift underneath it at the other end. Maybe I'll take some straps. Okay. Alright, mate, we'll stop filming. Alright, this actually worked out alright. We haven't got a lot of overhang over the back. Strapped down nice and tight. When I built this trailer, I built these loops into the deck. And I actually, they're bolted to plate that's welded to the chassis, so they're bulletproof. So that's super tight. That can't go anywhere at all. So it's actually less of an ordeal than what I thought it was going to be. Alright, this time definitely, next time we talk, will be after it comes back from the galvanizers. Right at the galvanizers, some Muppets parked in the way next to me.